The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism released a report this week revealing a list of members of the far-right extremist group Oath Keepers. You may remember the group from the key role it played in the attack on our Capitol on January 6th. The ADL reviewed more than 38,000 names on the leaked membership list, finding hundreds of U.S. law enforcement officers, elected officials, and members of the military. Now, it's important to note that appearing in the Oath Keepers database does not mean that all the people listed are active members or share the group's ideology. Some people on the list told the Associated Press they were briefly members years ago and are no longer affiliated with the group. Joining me now is Oren Siegel, Vice President of the Center on Extremism at the Anti-Defamation League. Mr. Siegel, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. The ADL's report states, and I want to quote, the Oath Keepers differentiate themselves from other groups in the militia movement by explicitly targeting current and former members of the military, law enforcement, and emergency services personnel with their recruitment and messaging. Can you explain how they target these groups?
Sure. So the Oath Keepers have been putting out propaganda, spreading their anti-government conspiracy theories, and talking specifically about the need to defend the oath that many in those services have talked about. And so they're saying, we believe in the oath to the Constitution as well, but we do not believe that that oath includes the government. And that's how they're able to spin their wild anti-government ideas, their conspiracy theories, and still attract those that ostensibly have taken an oath to defend our country, whether abroad or here.
Now, Texas has the highest number of people who have signed up to be part of the Oath Keepers. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, part of that is because Texas has a large population. You know, a lot of our findings were consistent with the populations of the country. But I think what's most alarming in this report is that those who signed up to a membership list paid dues to an extremist movement, whether it was in 2008 or whether it was in 2018, they knew that this was an extremist movement. This group has never pretended to be anything other than that. And so while we can't necessarily say everybody has clearly been active on the ground beyond, signing up for a membership, the fact that 38,000 people, including those in positions of power, signed up, is a huge red flag and, frankly, helps erode the public trust.
You know, the Oath Keepers have displayed anti-government ideology since its inception. Can you explain what's motivated the group to become increasingly more violent?
So, what we saw in 2020, as there were mass debates and discussions of vaccines, and there were protests in front of state houses. I mean, the Oath Keepers have always tried to show up, leverage the public discussion, get seen, and try to support those in opposition to the government. This was true at a standoff in Nevada. And what we saw ultimately culminated, right, in the fact that multiple people, over 24, have been arrested as being part of the insurrection. And so violence is not often behind conspiracy theories, false narratives, and lies when they become public.
As you know, a number of Oath Keepers, including its founder, have been charged with seditious conspiracy. Do you think there needs to be more action taken to hold these members accountable to prevent the threat of future violence?
This is one of the reasons we released this report at ADL. We believe that, fundamentally, a democracy is only as strong as the accountability in that society. What we hope is that providing information about over 300 law enforcement that signed up to Oath Keeper membership lists, over 81 elected officials or those running for office, military personnel, that somehow people recognize that this is being addressed, that those can research and hold accountable those people in their communities who are in positions of power, and just ask them a simple question. Why did you sign up to be a member of an extremist movement? I don't think that's unreasonable.